Hello guys and girls, how's it going? What's up? Gonna continue to work on the Bretts and Imperial Nobility team today. And I think I'm gonna start with some flesh. There are very few fleshy bits on these guys, but still it is something that needs to be done. So might as well give it a whack. Actually, I found a new local band that I kind of like, and I would like to give them a shout out. The band is called Katorga, and I found a little few albums that we might play from them. Shouldn't be too long, things considered, so we can move back to our regular playlists after that. A little bit of metal never hurt anyone. I've been listening to anything for a while and thought this might be cool for me, and maybe a little bit of a curio to you guys to hear something local. Let's do a little bit of cleanup on the places I messed up during painting some of the other bits. Wasn't too much spillage, but still neaten up a little bit. And possibly hurt. Also, going back to some bad habits, I'm gonna be having some coffee today instead of tea. Been in a pretty mellow mood today, and the taste of coffee is something I just prefer over tea. So even though I do want to make this sort of a quick to replicate project, kinda can't help myself but to do the flesh in a little bit of a more proper way. We'll do the highlights first. Shadow. There's really so little of it that it shouldn't be a problem. Actually, you know what? I think it would be better to do the eyes first. It's Get them out of the way. Thing I always do, I forget to do the eyes first. Think about the flesh too. Having some issues later on. Let's just do that. Get on. Do the finicky part first. Visually painting away. The hat is throwing a little bit of a nasty shadow. He is just a little bit cross-eyed. It doesn't have to not be. No. Very rarely see his face. Wet too much over it. Let's just try and close up the eyes a little bit. Okay. Those have teeth showing a little bit, so him as well. Clean up the lips. And this is just a local band I came by recently. Giving it a little bit of airtime because I kind of liked it, really. Matter of fact, I liked it quite a bit. Considering the usual styles that are being played on the local scene. So might as well give them a little bit of a shout out. Just giving them a listen, really. Oh, I painted too much of the eye. This is why we do this. Avoiding some extra bullshit later down the line. There we go. I could... Where? Alright, now to highlighting. Fortunately, the coffee is gonna give me a little bit of the shakes. So we'll just have to deal with that. Should make also a widget like I did for Pretzel Rocks to show at the very least Spotify now playing. We're sort of running out of options here. Now let's see if actually that band is on Spotify. That'll be interesting. They are. Wait. Yeah, so they've been around for 3 years. It's interesting. Yeah, so I'll make a widget, place it on the place of Pretzel Rocks for Spotify as well. I do it right now. And just hide one, and I'm not playing the other. Yeah, that'll do actually. Alright, you know what, let's try and do that right now. I've been thinking about it for a while. Shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes and then we'll be back to painting, I promise. Just a little bit in a very lazy, mellow mode, so give that a shot. There we go. Not display capture. Where's window capture? There it is. Create new, we'll call it Yep. And now let's just crop out it. I think the Alt key was what we needed here. Indeed. And then this just comes here. Just hide pretzel for now. Is visible in it. We'll make use of it because right now we're listening to YouTube, but I saw they have all of their music on Spotify as well, so we might as well get a little bit of a better sound there. Alright. Let's give that a shot. Oh, that's even quieter than I thought. Okay. Let me know if it gets too loud. A quick review on Twitch and make sure it's not too small, but we should be alright there. Oh. Odd. No, it's fine. I have a bit of unused real estate, but actually it's an illusion. Alright. This should open up some options to switch music a little bit every now and again. You get a copyright strike, and so be it. Alright, let's do some actual painting, which I think we should be doing on this channel anyway. Can you see what I'm doing? Or do you need a little bit more centering? Might be fun to play a little bit more local music every now and again, I think. Not just for you guys, but also for me to. I haven't been keeping watch over what's happening in the local scene, and technically I am on the lookout for anything that might be potentially something I like. Sorry about missing yesterday's stream, but I had a horrible night on Monday. I just couldn't get a wink of sleep and barely made it through the workday on the next day and just wasn't up to snuff to stream. I'll make it up to you. So this month I took Fridays off. Both to clean up some piled up PTOs that should be used. Because technically I do really need some rest. And can make some longer streams if the mood hits me, especially for gaming. Like painting streams I can pretty much always do, that's not a problem, but going over the usual amount sort of taxes me a little bit. So probably not gonna remain usual thing. It's not gonna be part of the schedule. But since there's a little bit of a themed topic going, I'm gonna push a little bit more with it. I'm gonna get our games with the human team, that's for sure. Maybe won't get to the Bretts, or at least not gonna stream them, but But for sure, the human teams, CL 6, possibly very short participation. In Andy Davos tournament will be streamed and recorded. If you guys really like it, do it again. But I'll probably keep the next events off stream. Alright. So this was a mix of Bugman's Glow and Cadian Fleshtown, and now we are moving up Fleshtown. Not gonna do too much to him. I'm just gonna have a touch of Kiss of Flesh into the Cadian Fleshtown. And then just a little bit of Glazed in Shadow, which I'll do with Bugman's Glow and a little bit of purple. And that'll be that for the limited amount of flesh on this model. And on all of the models, like, if it was more, it put a little bit more effort into it, but there's very little flesh on either of them, with the exclusion of the Ogre. He has a bit more flesh to him. It will be quite a bit of time until we get to the unlike the previous projects, this one will be very flesh non-heavy. Hey! It's a boy, Edward. Welcome along. Sorry it took me so long to read your name. What's going on, man? How you feeling? How's the Wednesday treating you? How did you find this tiny little channel in the middle of nothing? Either way, welcome, welcome. And enjoy your stay. Alright. Oh. Get a little bit more of the Acadian flesh tone, add a little bit of Kislev flesh. And call the whole thing, well, the whole thing. The fleshy part of the thing. The Dunzo. Again, I haven't used Spotify in a while, so if you find that the music is too loud, because I haven't properly audio checked it, do let me know. The opposite, of course, applies as well if you want to hear the music louder. And myself a little bit less. Like I also previously mentioned, just in the mood to listen to this band because I came across it pretty recently when given it too much already time to listen, and I did why not do it on stream. They have a couple of short albums. We'll go through them and then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled synthwavy playlist. Oh, please bear with me. For a little bit. For whatever reason, I really don't get to listen to a lot of new music. Hey dude, thank you very much. Take it you don't do a lot of miniature painting or any. But if you are considering finding a new hobby, doing something to unwind after a long works day or a long day's work, a pretty chill experience, I strongly recommend it. What do you do in your spare time, if you don't mind me asking? Like, are you into art or into gaming? These are technically gaming pieces used on a tabletop game called Blood Bowl, and it is a representation of fantasy football, including all sorts and varieties of fantasy creatures, including orcs, elves, dwarves, and set in a alternate reality version of the Warhammer Fantasy universe. and it's a pretty fun game. It has a very good rendition on PC and consoles. If you want to check it out, it is Blood Bowl 2. Pretty fun. At least I find it pretty fun. Like, it is, of course, subjective, so don't let me push my preferences onto you, but just a suggestion. If you find it curious or alluring, if you like turn-based games, a little bit of strategy, a little bit of risk management, then Blood Bowl might fill that. Dude, like, the worst thing you can do is keep your inspiration locked in and choke it out or suffocate it. Regardless of your technical level, it always feels better to bring it out, to express that inspiration, that idea. And with time it always gets better. If it's lining that you're worried about, it improves with practice. Like, your hand just needs to learn the fine motor skills, and once they're there, everything becomes alright. Color theory is something that requires a bit more looking into, but again, it's your stuff, and the way you see them, the way you imagine it is the way that you can put it on, regardless. You will find, especially here in the community for miniatures painting, that there is a lot of support. Most people are very kind, very supportive, and great place to sort of get encouragement in times of wavering self-esteem and all that. But again, if you do love art, if you have the ideas, regardless of the medium in which you want to make them come to life, don't stop yourself, please. It's going to be a rewarding experience no matter what. As a kid, I really wanted to get into art. Like, really, really wanted it. My mother used to draw when she was younger, and I got into her paintings, and I really loved what it looked like, so I've been pestering and annoying her endlessly to teach me and show me stuff. And I actually got into a school with a, like, elementary school we're talking here, that had an art profile in it, and stayed there for about a year, but then got switched over to a language learning school, and for what now, 20 for about 23 years I had zero touch with any sort of art, and it makes me really, really pissed off, because it's all this time that I could have been building abilities or just expressing my my ideas, my feelings, and all that in art. And it's a bit of a feeling of wasted time and a little bit, to say the least, of regret. So don't stop yourself, allow yourself that expression, and have fun with it. At the end of the day, that's what we do, right? That is what a hobby is. I do also have a Discord server, so hello Hubert. So if you ever get to the point where you do get something done and you would like to share it, you can use my Discord as a dumping ground for any sorts of work in progress pics and all of that. And I'm curious and excited to see what you come up with. Yeah, I thought. So I don't listen to the radio very often, or to say almost at all. But I came about this band recently. I heard one of their songs, found it to be very interesting, very fresh sounding for a Bulgarian band. I heard it over on Xerox, on their show for new music. That they sponsor new bands. And unlike most Bulgarian metal music, it actually sounds very fresh. And I've been meaning to give it a thorough listen. There are, but not that many. Either way, it just caught my ear, and I thought I'd give it a little bit of a more thorough listen. Also took the opportunity to make a little bit of a Spotify window so you can tell what's playing. So if I feel like we want to switch the playlist along from Pretzel, we can do this. So far they have just the 2 albums and I think 1 EP. And both albums are 5 songs long. That sounds good. I'm gonna put it in the... Haven't heard it. Have you tried searching the studio and maybe check out what bands they promote? It's a shame, and I constantly listen to one song over the radio when it wakes me up, and I've been meaning to look for it, but like you say, the words in it are just too generic to reliably find anything out of it. And they are in English, but I'm pretty sure it's a Bulgarian band listening to the accent of it. And I know the feeling of listening to something every now and again and just not being able to find what it is. Which is weird in this day and age, isn't it? We'll drop a little bit of purple and mix in the base flesh tone, glaze in some shadows, and move along. Also, sorry for skipping yesterday's stream again, but I couldn't sleep on the night of Monday against Tuesday. Just too groggy to do anything. That is also true. Yeah, there are some of those that just either didn't find their way, just don't find their way on the internet somehow. Some of them are just old and don't have proper renditions. A buddy of mine showed me a song by Roberta that is very cute, but you actually have to write the name of the song word for word, or else even YouTube can't find it for you. So weird. Again, I'm just gonna glaze in some shadows here and move along because there is very little flesh on this model. We can do something a bit more visible to the eye. And I think the shadows are being a bit too harsh, so it'll take a bit of time to clean them up. Oh, song? Or what? Oh, Roberta. Roberta. Turns out it's a song from the soundtrack of an old movie. But it was a good example to show off the limits of YouTube's search engine. This guy's some eyebrow. Sculptor made the effort to put him in, we might as well paint him. You see it because of the hat. Right. brighten up with shadows on the arms because I overdid the darkness a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Again, such a small part of the model. Couldn't have warranted this much time. Alright, so let's go over the red cowl then. A little bit of extra spillage here that I want to fix before we move into the phthalates. Okay. Move straight forward into the bright red. And again, I'll do the shadows last, but instead of putting them like doing a pin wash and targeted shading, I'm just gonna wash the whole surface. But since I'll be using the same wash for several surfaces, I'll go over the highlighting process first, and then just bulk wash whatever I need to. thicker paint, because while these reds have a really good translucency for a slow gradient buildup, as you get such small details like these creases, kind of need a little thicker paint and achieve a maximum opacity right off the bat. I might need to do another highlight with an off-white. Or maybe an orange. More subtle here, unlike previous projects where the red was a little bit of an emphasis. Here it's just a splash of color to break up monotony. And since this is cloth once again, I will try and make the scratches, the texture. Okay, and that's actually the end of that playlist. And now we can move on back over to It was Spotify. Now we're back to Pretzel. Although I have been saving up some playlists. Yeah, it is limited, but whenever it has, I just made it a habit to check whenever I find a band I like, whether or not it's available on Spotify, and follow them, because unlike YouTube, Spotify does pay better dividends to its creators. And if you have the option of listening to something on either Spotify or YouTube, it's better to do so on Spotify. like if you wanna support the artist, and Lord knows ours are in. Ours can use every single bit of support they can get. Alright. Up of teams. Or do we just go straight with the texturing? Doesn't really have enough room for too many layers of highlights. Yeah, let's go for that. Every layer of highlight I'm gonna skip on any detail is something that's going to carry over across all of the models in the project, and it's going to add up to a little bit more time efficiency. And let's see how that looks on the model. Yeah, it's okay. Might not show through after the wash stage. But we'll deal with it when we cross that bridge. Well, that's okay. Just gonna highlight the creases. The same catchy pattern. Not too fancy.
The nights grow darker. Modern man has become a mere shadow of its former resplendence.
The night. Oh, okay.
Choosing to relinquish the
I was just about to comment that it's a
distracted and bemused,
fairly good pun.
has chosen science as their new deity. Our order seeks to restore man to a position of centrality and dignity in the universe.
No, actually, no.
Betwixt modern science and religion, we ascertain to re-enlighten these non-believers who challenge our doctrine through sin,
Wait, the newly dead.
administered by the company audio. The year is 1987.
It's possible, but
87.
cool. I will give them a shot. Like, it's like the name sounds known, but At the same time, I realize I might be confusing it with Dead Can Dance. So, let's just say I have no idea what it is. Faster Pussycat Babylon. Nope. Only thing that pops up in my mind now is gems. What's new Pussycat? Oh, really? I love myself some glam metal every now and again. Check them out. Sounds like a fun thing to listen to. I'll also very soon move to areas where you'll actually be able to see what I'm doing. I know this hat sort of preventing any actual visibility on what's happening. But it is just texturing. You've seen me do it many times. Aye. Good. Now we move on to the browns. Bit more, I think. No, it's brown. Do we have any cleanup to do? Yeah, a little bit. Only thing so far I might like to fix is the tights came out a little bit too bright and are taking a little bit of the attention away from the main colors. So I'll need to bring them down a little bit. But that'll be just a wash. Should be good. Like send out wash, just give them a good coat and move on. Means that for the other models, the tights will fall into the category of highlight first and wash second. Technically will apply for pretty much all of it. All except the main colors. Is it this Saturday that they will be announcing the Blood Bowl pre-order? Thanks, but it's too early to tell. It usually comes on at the later hours once my voice gets a little bit more tired. But I'll be keeping it in check. Okay. Wait, since when? I'm mostly interested in the release of the rulebook, not so much the starter, if that's what you mean. When did that brush get so filthy again? No, never mind, never mind. I need shit. Okay. Asking more along the lines for whether or not I should get on with making the cards, marketing cards. I'm thinking this Friday. So that if the pre-orders come out, I can just make the quick rounds around the local stores and distribute them. Hey there, Mark UK. What's up? How's it going? Yeah, I want to get those cards to the stores before the actual product comes in. Ah, sweet, that's the best feeling ever in it. No, sadly. And that's why I haven't yet advertised being part of the team, because I can just never really... Yeah, no. It's hard for me to keep up and get the model in time. I need to put a little bit more thought and action into this, so I can actually participate. Oh, cool. I'll look into it. When the... Alright. Yeah, Sneak has been offering to post some of the models. I might take him up on that. Because I do want to participate in these events. I just never organize myself properly. Mirror Queen. Nice. So yeah, Hubert, do you think I should wait for the starter to actually be in stock at the stores? That gives me another 2 weeks. That's okay. Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe they don't follow along the release schedule and wouldn't know that it's coming out. And they'll just forget. So yeah, that's... Yeah, alright. Are there any posts on Instagram chat? Yeah, alright. Just see which model that was, because I cannot remember. Which one was the Mirror Queen? Wrong and all that, yeah. Well, I'll most definitely watch along for sure. I just don't know if I'll be able to get things set up. Actively participate. I missed it. Weird. Oh well. Can you post a link to what the model looks like, Mark? I can't find anything on it. If it's no trouble, of course. If not, I'll look into it just later on. Alright, thanks. Oh, okay, I see. With the frame, I remember Brush did some work on a very similar frame. Right. So what are your ideas on it, if you're willing to share? Like, how will you make this come to life? Oh, like a reflection across the pond with nice. Cool idea. Different. Yeah, I see. Yeah, because that's the first thing that comes to mind. I was just about to ask if you're gonna do a Queen of Hearts or something like this. Yeah, for sure, for sure. It lends itself to that theme anyway. Yep, these are Blood Bowl, a team that used to be Bretonians, but over the new rules, it's going to get some different positionals and all that. And thank you. I'm gonna prepare them to be usable for either of the teams. I started them recently. They're not GW models, they're from Grebo. And they have been sitting built and primed for, God, 3 years? And have just been taking up space. I couldn't bring myself to hide them in my usual places to obscure their existence and stop pestering me. And I think it's high time they got some paint on them. And I want to make them in a fairly quick and easy way. Don't waste too much time on them. So I am reverting back to GW painting tips and tricks for getting more dudes out quicker. With some twists here and there. And they are cool models. I've been wanting to paint them, and also they're not too detail intense. And so painting them is actually quite enjoyable. And it's basically about giving texture to most of the details, so this is why I'm doing the highlights in such a sketchy way. And I'm skipping several steps of highlights in order to make that scratchiness come through even harder. That is basically the only interesting thing paint-wise. Other than that, it's just put some paint, put some wash, move along. While I'm thinking about how to do the next project, which will be just a single one-off model, and I'll play around with some heavy conversions, a little bit of sculpting, which is not something I have a lot of experience in. So again, I'm just trying to find how to get the point across with the least amount of actual doing, and the simplest way of doing it as well. Again, just because it's not something I'm accustomed to, it will be pretty much new ground for me to discover. I've never really sculpted for anything other than like just gap filling, smoothing out some gap filling. So it's gonna be a little bit daunting. I've been meaning to do it forever. I did get the actual model, but that'll come after these guys are done and done. Which, considering that there are 19 of them, probably not gonna be very soon. No matter how much I streamline the painting process and how effective I get the paint scheme to be, it's still me, and it's still gonna be slow. Yeah, I think I started them a couple of streams ago, and I'm moving into a new way to post on Insta, meaning I won't spam a billion in progress pictures that have little to no change between them. There's no point. I'll be posting whenever there is actual things to show, really. There'll still be works in progress, just not as many. One of the main reasons to post the way I did was to advertise the stream a little bit. And I've noticed that pretty much no one comes as like no new people come around from Instagram. So I might as well not flood my pictures with effectively nothing, just volumes of chaff. And that might be why I haven't seen that many pics of them. I'm jumping across the intermediate layers of highlights just on the count of doing a pretty heavy wash at the end stage. Something I found out during the Goliaths project is washes tend to kill a lot of the color progression. Might as well just keep it to the stark transitions, especially when I want to give a textured look, which is what I'm going for almost all of the details. And with the hopes of getting things a little bit more effective. By effective, I mean efficient. And by speaking, I mean words. Don't necessarily come. But I think they'll be fun to look at, and more lively colors. Yo, Rocket Pepper, what's up? Hey, hey. Been following you on Insta for a while. Found you from Berserker Works' stream. So welcome, welcome. Real glad that you were able to hop on here as well. How's it going? How is the Wednesday treating you? And congrats on joining the local painters as well. Working. Well, Scone and Tea does help to move the workday along. And I hope that it is a productive workday. Or at least one that takes it easy on you and doesn't generate too much stress or unpleasantness. Ah, sweet. Have you thought about their paint scheme? Like, what are you going for? For the crons? I'm assuming that you're talking about the ones from Indomitus. Day of the Dead mods. You know, I've never seen that done, and it actually sounds pretty cool. Really nice. I'll definitely keep a lookout. Any works in progress. Yeah, that might be something that will really suit them well. Nice going, by the way, considering um, the amount of people that are painting them right now, following their release and all that. The ones from the Indomitus, that is, not Necrons in general. There have been a lot of takes on them, but that is a pretty original one. Gotta hand it to you. Nice. That's fine. Take the part of the hobby that you like. Yeah, now you get me excited to see what you do with them. Have you checked out Raging Heroes? They have some models in the style of Day of the Dead. You can use them for reference, just to get some ideas for patterns and approach for models of that scale. Yeah, exactly. Very small, yeah, they are the gaming sizes. Oh, they're a straight out mods cast for that. Interesting. What does that entail? Like big hats? Because the rest is pretty much paintwork, I think. The actual where are my words today? Like the face paint and the black on white contrast for most of it. Pretty much paint on. So in terms of mods, roses and skulls. Oh, that's nice. I didn't think about that, did I? Sweet. Yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind, like the big hats and maybe the costumes. Naturally, referring to images of Steve Martin. For whatever reason. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Or a luchador, yeah, that's an option. Yeah, Mark, I saw him. I saw him work on it. I was lurking in this on the stream, but yeah, that is effing gorgeous, isn't it? Again, in the same theme, I think. But yeah, really, really pretty. Mexican orcs, so cool. Yeah, you think? Just a bit, just slightly. Nah, he's great. Just give me a quick second to finish this up and have a look as well. Alright, let's have a look. Yep. Oh, the panther. Oh man. Oh good. And that transition, is that wet blended over an undercoat or is it glazing? Quite the contrary, like I was just about to say that this looks meticulously done. Yeah, and it's not about, so the part that's random is the hardest, I think, rather than because you did manage to give in a lot of variety. And it looks very, very good. I like it. I want to see how this goes along. And also the wood, the tree, especially in this part here, it looks really natural wood. But yeah, random patterns are a pain. Yeah, that looks amazing. This part here, on the lower end, I can't tell that it's not actually wood. But yeah, random patterns is just hard. Which is why I try to cheat, because there's a lot of scratching going on these guys. You don't know if you can tell. And I wanted to cheat my way into the random scribbles by messing up dry brush and going with a bit of a stickier consistency. But unfortunately, it saves me neither time nor effort, so I'm just gonna do it manually. Oddly. I was so looking forward to get it a little bit of a cheat going. Yeah, sponges and dry brushes and help randomizing patterns, but for dots, for spots, like for a panther, I just can't think of a way. Um, Even to just sketch them in so you can then make them into actual spots by hand. Apart from, I don't know, taking advantage of a splurting airbrush, or just flicking paint off a brush, and wherever the paint falls you can thicken them into the actual spots. But apart from that, I just can't think of a way to make a random pattern of spots. And glaze over the top, okay. So it wasn't wet blended, the skin of it so far? Because I see that there is a deeper color underlying the greenish. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Most assuredly. That may be the point where you just have to cut out a stencil. Just the top of the hat remaining on this little duder, and then we can move into scratching them all up. And play around with some different shades. Top it all off. For that, we got the metals, and he's done. So, depending on how much time. Oh yeah, indeed. It's a cool sculpt in and of itself. And Snick has been doing something incredible with it as well. Right, let's see what we do here. Lap a little bit. Most I ever do is small tabletop stuff for now. I would like to give a shot to larger minis and experience all of the difficulties and challenges that it poses in addition. I think that's it. Can I skip a mixing stage and just
do Golden Brown.
be enough? Let's see. Let's see if I can make my life easier. Although history says no.
Oh, it's bright enough.
Might suffice. Oh. I'll try and see. Or I have a little bit of the sniffles. Now it doesn't make for a very pleasant listening experience. I'm trying to keep it under control. Yeah, that'll do. I'll do just fine. Might actually be a little bit too intense. Yeah, it's a bit much. The wash will bring it down significantly, but not entirely. I kind of have to think about how the next step will affect the current one. See how this goes. Better. Maybe still a little bit too pronounced, but I really won't be able to tell before I actually put on the wash, so here's hoping. If we can make this look like leather.
Realistic.
A hint. Overdid it. So I might be doing another gaming stream tomorrow, provided I manage to sleep tonight.
Some more blood bowling.
Questionable quality. Might be. Like, why is it that I couldn't do these lines while making the Goliaths? Oh, Oh well. Live and learn. There. Just for the hell of it. And it's definitely not me being lazy or anything. Yeah, by the way, I did check to see what were the most watched Twitch streams. In previous days, it was mostly World of Warcraft, which I found to be kind of weird. But today, it was all US elections. Several streams with up to tens of thousands of people. Now what I didn't do is check to see if the streamers are like usually gaming streamers or if they are actual political commentators. But there is a part of me that thinks that they would be game streamers, which makes things kind of weird. Yep. When is the actual election day? Is it today? Oh, so they're counting now. I'm curious to see what happens. Yeah, well, understandably so, though.
shit, really. Yeah, because the more time goes, the more things are prone to error. And it might also eat into... I don't know if they've talked about this, whether it will eat into the
handover period. Yikes. Do you know what they do if there isn't enough of a difference? Do they host another voting?
really not aware of.
What the process is? Does he have that choice? Holy shit. The House Representatives. Ay, 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 ay. If that happens, though, it will be... Yeah, I got you. Because that will show the house's affiliation, so you can make... You'll be able to make some decent observations on who will be lobbying for what. Then again, I'm really not much informed or following these events, as you can tell. Results will be known, and things will happen. Shit. Turning your stream into politics. Well, not particularly political, like I'm not
Stating any stance on the facts.
So far we've just been covering the facts, and I think that it would be just best to keep it at that. For no other reason, of course, other than the fact that I really don't know what's going on and can't really interpret any of it. So we'll soon have our own elections to deal with. That will be a bit more important for me. Both will come be white.
Much diversity this time around.
Yeah, we'll be having ours pretty soon as well. And there have been things happening over on our side of the world. Much less significant and much less hard, but still, it is kind of something. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, no, nothing wrong here. Never said anything, never said just stop talking. I just said that I wouldn't be able to give a informed opinion matter. Yeah, the media is not understanding about our own shit, let alone the world. I think our local media has become very lazy over the course of the past few years, merely rehashing and sometimes directly just loppily translating the news from other countries, which is to their detriment. I know they have schedules to keep, but come on. Do try to put a little bit of work in what you're doing. Like, world event reporting has become almost exclusively rehashes of random posts. Yeah, we're in Bulgaria, me and Hubert. It's a little country, Europe, just south of Romania and north of Greece. Oh, see, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a little that is actually good because it is informative and it's matter of fact. I'm actually all for that. That's a good thing to do. East and middle. I'd say south. Way down south. But, you know, we might have our maps mixed up. Yeah, and by the way, Snickson, the dude that painted the lady in the Day of the Dead theme, he is from Greece, which is just south of here, so we are in neighboring countries. Just a little bit of trivia for y'all. Yo, Eggs, what's up? So you posted a few more of your works on the Discord. Pretty nice, pretty snazzy. How did your art project go? Nice, good to hear. Good to hear. can see, I'm moving along ever so slowly with Bretts, or the Imperial Nobility if you're going by new rules. Smoking. Yeah, I'll have a smoke break just in a wee while. Very soon, actually, because I am almost done with this guy.
It keeps changing its names.
But yeah, if you can post it, that'd be great. Alright, no problem. Still appreciate the pop in, and I'm glad to hear that your art project went well. And that you are well as well, also. Okay. Lol. Yeah, Cyrillic. That being said, do keep it legible for the others. They may think we're exchanging some top secret information. Whereas in reality, it's just banter. Alright, I think I roughed this guy up enough. I'll take a real quick 2-minute break. Yeah, right now.
back I am. So, have a milk break, and then proceed to ruining this model by drowning him in wash. For which I will also be using a larger brush, so this won't be needed. What washes will I be? Most of the brown will be Agrax. Separate pieces will be with Carober Crimson, and the red will also be Agrax, I think, because I want to mute it. Yeah, so let's get and prepared with all the washes. Hell yeah, I will. As the old meme says, yeah. Good old meme. With that being said, after laying down the washes, this guy will be pretty much done. Like a little bit more work on the metallics, and oh, I think we'll have a working prototype for the rest of the project. Cool. So it means I'll be able to turn my brain off and just think by numbers. And there are some numbers. 19 dudes. I think that's my biggest project yet, actually. Like the most numerous in terms of model count. Because the other Blood Bowl teams were 16 models. That beats them by 3. Prototype, it only took... Oh, shut up. It'll get faster. And additionally, the next batch. Alright, Rocket Pepper, thank you once again for popping in, and have a pleasant rest of your workday, and a nice creative time with your crons. I'll be looking forward to any updates. Yeah, I think things will get a little bit streamlined, and I will be working in batch. So it should become more tolerable, and I'll be base coding the next batch off stream as much as I can. I've already placed them on pill bottles, so go on. Smooth. Maybe not super quick, but at least smooth. In other words, it'll get me where I need to be. Probably leave the basing for last. Don't know if I should do it in batches, like I'm painting them more in one big batch when I'm done with everyone, but probably in batches to minimize me going insane. Alright, let's see what we got here. Is this gonna work? Is it gonna kill all of the texture? Is it not going to blend well enough? All of these riveting questions and more revealed soon as the bloody thing dries. I'm barely doing anything at the moment. I'm laying it down too thin. Here we go. Oh yeah, not that much art going around here, more technical stuff still. I might choose to go along. So that it doesn't take 6 months. Now watch as it does. It's getting harder to define. Yeah. True. Although I will stand by my general statement that art is more of is determined by intent to apply aesthetic element to an artifact. Primary goal. And as such, long as that aesthetic value. Yeah, exactly. If you did it with the intent of it having a aesthetic value, it counts as art, and that's all there is to it. Step. Place to clean. Village. Isn't doing quite the job I wanted it to do, though. And I may just be going too soft on it. I kind of want to try and avoid too much pooling. And if I go with too much of a loaded brush, then it'll slow down things because I'll have to soak up excess. It's not like I can go too heavy with it to begin with. But maybe just another coat. It's alright. It'll do. If I do too many coats over it, then it'll reduce the actual texturing too much. And I don't want that to happen. That'll do, big. That'll do, yeah. Let's just go ahead and do the red as well. Should be enough. And now for the rest of the leather bits, we'll go Carroburg Crimson to give it a little bit of diversity, bit of variety. Things such as parts of boots here.
Hope I remember to go over the tights with another layer of sepia as well. Belt. Subject to Carroburg Crimson. Quickly clean up. Link. Good stuff. Hmm. Yikes. Let's go only. Yeah. Odd. Then again, it wouldn't really matter considering that like it depends on the states, right? Because different states have different values and stuff. Hey, FX, what's up, dude? Thanks for the follow. Welcome along. Doing fine. Just getting over a mild case of them sniffles. Apart from them, all fine. Doing some simple painting. Hey, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Okay, I think that's pretty much all I can really do at this stage. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering who Arcus was in the chat. Nice. Yeah, I've seen you over at Pigeon Stream. So I'm glad to make your acquaintance in mine as well. Well, I'm not overly enthused with how this came out, but it'll do. Nice to meet you, Sam. Are you going to be taking part in the next
painting challenge. Nice. I don't really know if I'll be able to. That's so Mark was here a little while ago. Because but I was whining about being horrible at scheduling. Yeah, it did lose a little bit of vibrance. I might need to bring a few scratches back. Yeah. Well, of course it'll lose brightness, it's a wash, but... the 21st. Okay, so I might get in touch with Snick and see if he can print one for me as well. Alright. 21st is a Saturday, okay. Cool, okay. No, I am in Bulgaria, which is just north of Greece, which is why I think it will be the quickest and easiest to ask Snick for a print. Right, so let's do the sepia wash real quick and... This is going to hurt a little bit, but it needs to be done. Oh, that's a nice song. Yo, Saima, what's up? With the prototype, the test model, we might actually, yeah. Pretty close to it. I might need to do a little bit more work on the leather texturing, because as I suspected, the wash stage killed quite a bit of it. Oh sweet, let's take a look. So for those not on the know, not in the know, Saima is also taking on the Bretts with a fairly different paint scheme. Starting on the Knights, sweet. Yeah, the Bretts channel. Bretonian propaganda, right? Oh wow, you're really progressing. Aw, man. Really good. I dig the fact that you went for different color of tights. emphasize a little bit more diversity here. Oh man, and that purple, I can't get enough of that purple. So good. And the yellow on the cowl of the blocker is real good as well. Did you hand paint the numbers? Ah, yeah, there we go. Thanks for that. Looks sweet. Lovely stuff, David. Whoa, too big. How the fuck do I get it? And go back. Oh, because it opens up in this, yeah. There you get what? 4? Oh, you've actually done a bowl as well, I didn't. Wait. Nice. Hopefully after the my test piece is done, I'll be able to move along a little bit quicker. Yeah, but they're coming along real good. They will stand very nicely on a table. Okay, now do some metallics. Any other teams that you are working on at the moment or will be working on in the future? What are your plans for the future? Are you gonna do Black Orcs? Oh yeah, you mentioned the vamps, yeah. For sure, yeah. Which ogre did you pick up? Like, which variant? Number 3, let me give that a quick look. They do have a few. Florence Knights. Number 3 is this one. I went for the, yeah, I got the same one. Yeah, I was on the fence between him and number 2. But for whatever reason, I like my ogres bold, and this one didn't come with a spare head. unlike this one. This one was also an option. The first one. But he was a little bit too plain and static. And did you go with the regular throwers or the noble ones? Where were the throwers? The fancy ones, okay. I went for the regular ones. Okay. I thought about it long and hard, but opted for the basic ones. Yeah, the counts. Oh, so snazzy. Didn't pick those just because they didn't quite align loosely enough with the overall. Yeah, there is a bunch of it, isn't there? But most of it is indented, so it's a recessed detail. So a good pin wash, and I think they shouldn't be too hard to deal with. But if they were high detail, like autolef, it would have been a bit of a bitch to get them done. Nice. Nice. Yeah, who would have known? I think this is a very big hit. I think a lot of people will opt for the Grebo team for nobility. Yeah, I was wondering that myself. I was thinking, I think you were around when I was doing these ponderings, whether or not to mix contrast paints and glaze over metallics or just keep them painted, and I just decided to get them like this. So this front plate is supposed to be a hard surface, and I'll just highlight it as such instead of texturing it, and hopefully it will be enough of a difference. We'll see. We'll play around and see how it comes out. Yeah, but I don't like using different finishes in terms of varnish on the models. It's just a personal preference. Apart from that, yeah, it's definitely an idea. It's just a bit more of a challenge for me personally to play around with trying to highlight surfaces in a way to instill the feeling of whatever material they're gonna be. Because it's something I want to get like decent at least to suggest what it does at some point. But again, that's purely personal. And also because I do 2 layers of varnish for gaming miniatures, one satin layer and one matte layer, and it would become a bit too much of a chore. Play around with what's effectively transparent paint, or colorless transparent paint. I did get the mattest of matte varnishes, and I've been struggling with that a lot more than I expected. I got the AK Ultra Matte, and I've been having horrible frosting issues because I don't know when to stop spraying. I'm a noob at well, at mostly everything, but in terms of airbrush use, especially. Yeah, that's the point. And to emphasize it even further, I'm doing random rough strokes with the brush when I'm highlighting cloth, and I'll be making more sectioned highlights for the harder surfaces. I'll try it out on the blockers shoulder pads because they underwent the same thing. See how it goes. I think it should be fine. Like, it shouldn't be too hard to put into place, but we'll see. He is the next in line anyway, so I'll find that out soon enough. Right. Well, let's give... What do we do first? Let's do the silvers. And for the metallics, because the ultra matte is so matte that it kills all the shine out of the metallics, I'm gonna try and make some highlights that look metallic regardless of finish. Never worked out till this point, so it's gonna be interesting to see what I do now. I'll be going for a fairly rough difference between the highlight levels just to emphasize the reflectivity. Oh, indeed, indeed. I'm just being super stubborn and I'm trying to do it my way, as much as there is such a thing as a my way. But the key part is being super stubborn and stupid about it, so I'll be struggling with it until I make it my own. Marco Frassoni. No, I don't think so. Nope. Doesn't ring a bell, actually. Do you have a link handy? Or if he goes by the same way. Okay, actually, let me put it down for right now, or after the stream. Marco, is that how his YouTube channel goes? Marco Frassoni. Yeah, there it is. Oh, dearie me. Yeah, there's... Holy shit, okay. Alright, well, thanks for that. Holy shit. I tried oil washes years ago, before actually knowing how to do it right. And... well, but since then, I saw where the error of my ways was, but I never got around to check back. Because by that point, I already got the normal trades from Citadel, and yeah. Well, this person, this project here has a lot of all over the place washing, and as a result I might have to bring some of it up again. Yes, 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 absolutely agree. Because otherwise you get these just dirty looking splotches when it dries. Thanks, dude. Although, I don't know, they're... Generally, I kind of try to avoid having to wash. But in this case, I want to get some actual, a good rhythm of finishing these models. And if I had to play around with carefully layering and glazing in shadows and undercoating and all that for each piece, it would have been a horrible pain. Yeah, oils are an interesting thing. I don't necessarily think it's massively required. Like, I'm personally just a fan of watercolors and the techniques that carry over from watercolors to acrylics. Because acrylics are a happy medium between oils and watercolors in that you can use techniques for both of them. For instance, glazing is... oh great. Yeah, absolutely. Glazing is more akin to watercolors and feathering as well, whereas wet blending is more close to, is easier to achieve with oil paints. That is true. Definitely true. Spill. Alec. Over the leather, which wasn't great. Holy hell, yeah. That's definitely a fact. Although, you know, it can be used to its advantage, like having a lot longer working times. If you want to refine, if you want to meticulously refine any blends, if you're not doing just the washes. Again, I don't know, it's not something that screams to me. I would rather try watercolors on a model, but that, again, that's just me. Exactly, yeah. So the whole wet on wet thing was invented all using oils anyway. Yeah. I don't know, by the way, is it the turpentine or mineral spirits that makes the drying times longer? Or is it the thickness of the paint? Should be the solvent that slows down the drying time, right? It's the oil, okay. So if you use more thinner, they technically, theoretically, should dry faster then? Right, okay. Also erase paint jobs. Yeah, okay. I would suppose so. Oh yeah, Vince is a monster. Like even pro painters just are shocked by the volume that he puts out. Yeah. That. But you can get around it. I mean, I got over it pretty quickly. It's not something that he can control anyway. Right? Oh yeah, absolutely. I love how he calls his videos I'll be cheating. Sort of rub it in the nose of anyone who thinks certain techniques are considered cheating. That's just so... At the same time on the nose, and yet a subtle comment on that. Okay, where do I want the reflection to go? I think here. Keep going to the paint water pot when I'm using pro acryls, and that's just not necessary. Because they're thin enough to use. And otherwise, you really lose a lot of the coverage when you want to do some opaque painting. Exactly. And I'm pretty sure it's very much intentional. Okay, I think 2 reflective spots is enough. Maybe get them a little bit wider. Yeah, that should do it. I hope that carries it through both the washing and the matte varnish. We'll see. For a few studs that I missed. Let's quickly do them before going over the rest of the gold. Get a quick layout there as well. The basing plans, I am generally extremely uninspired when it comes to basing. So it's just going to be sterling mud with a little bit of highlighting and a wash and some grass flocking. Okay, thanks for dropping by. Thank you ever so much, and hope to see you back soon. And of course, I do like drawing the field lines. I'm not gonna do thick flocking this time around, so it's not gonna cover the entire surface. I want to do it like in patches. For no other reason other than that's what I've been like. The full flocking has been something I did on previous projects, and I just want to make it a little bit more diverse. I do have some plans for other stuff. I'd like to get some of the crackling. I just like it. Again, it just breeds a little bit more Blood Bowl to it. And it also breaks up boring looking bases like mine. Is also a big thing. But I would like to get some of the cracked texture paint that cracks after it dries, that I can use, let's say, for orc basing. And dwarf stuff, I will try to make astro granite. I might do it with cork or gravel. Haven't decided yet. Oh, yes. But that's really hard to keep on the... like, within the lines of the actual base, because what I've seen when people do wooden boards, they tend to go outside of the base itself so that it keeps up the feeling that it's a board that's been broken at some point. I don't know if you cut it close to the actual base if it will give the same feeling through. Another thing you could do is do one of the rollers. I haven't seen if there are any silicone rollers for wooden texture. But you can essentially just put a thin line, a thin coat of green stuff and just sort of cut the wood into it. It might be faster, I don't know. Or you can go completely natural and use like ice cream holder, ice cream wooden sticks. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, okay, that sounds alright. I'll be doing some wooden bases for them Wild West Exodus models if I ever get to them. So I'm currently hoarding coffee stir sticks and ice cream sticks as well, just to have. Right. So while I'm doing anything, let's shake up the gold. But yeah, I really don't do a lot with bases because mostly it's for gaming pieces, and too much base kind of can ruin it for me. If it was a display model, sure, but for gaming stuff, I tend to keep it simple and boring. So yeah, it's just a couple of gold details left, and then the wash stage, and should be good to go. Represent what the rest will look like, and I'll have a better look in the morning tomorrow and think whether or not I should bring out some of the texturing on the leathers. Although, as I'm looking at it from this distance, it kind of registers. It's there, kinda. And I will be switching around the patterns across the different batches of models, like the yellows and the greens will be in different places. Just for the hell of it. More than plenty. Damn sniffles. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. With that said, there are quite a few models, let's say for Warhammer and AOS, that I would like to paint. So things like Kill Team and Warcry seem quite alluring to use as an excuse to paint some models. Whether or not we'll ever come to that is a completely different thing. Yeah, I really just can't batch paint large numbers. As a matter of fact, this is probably the largest project I've started. And it does only count to I take a look at it every now and again, and also most painting streamers that do smaller models usually paint the latest and greatest of whatever Games Workshop puts out, so it's in my face more often than not. Matter of fact, the next thing I'll be doing after these guys will be a AOS model that I just really want to heavily convert. Make it mimic the Heroes of the Storm model, player character. Would also be a good opportunity to build some sculpting skills. Will definitely come handy across other projects in the journey. I'm just placing the absolute bare minimum of frame reflections and their secondary counterparts. And hope and pray that it'll look decent. Which I can already tell that it doesn't. I didn't do it straight enough. But from a distance. Because on this shape it should be a triangle. And I made it more of a tier shape.
Thin edge. That's possible. Probably should have used a smaller brush here. It'll have to do. For a couple of quick washes, and we are actually. So for the silvers, I'll use Agrax. To make it look older and rustier and cheaper. As opposed to the metallics I'll use on the other positionals, which we'll use a blue shade. I want to give them a steely look at the end. We'll see. It'll absolutely do. Thanks, man. Do want a tiny little build-up next to the rivets. Make them work. Done it on the underside first to see how it looks. But that would mean I have to actually think about what I'm doing. Should be back tomorrow to play some Blood Bowl in CCL. Try and build a team for Andy Davo's competition. Just to fail miserably at it, but to have fun while doing it. Humans are doing really well for whatever reason. I've had no deaths. And on the other hand, they've been lethal as shit. Like, I've removed half of a orc team. And by removed, I mean actual Kazas. Like, dices have been really kind to me. Which means they are bound to turn the other way very soon. I'm gonna give them the minimum of the 10 games that's required. And then I'll think about whether or not I want to push them, because they're very frail. And if I overdo it, I run the risk of just murdering them off.
what's happening right now really isn't realistic. With all the random Kazas going around. But it's going well. I did roll a double on a blitzer, so larger he is. Hubert suggested turning one of the catchers into a sacking piece. I hadn't really considered it. Seems kind of interesting to try out. Give him wrestle and tackle. Maybe strip ball. Yeah, exactly. I've never tried such a build for a catcher, so it'd be interesting to play around with it. I did want to go just guard spam though on the blitzers, and I realized I have no tackle. Oh, I haven't really thought this one through too well. Could have done that with ink for a stronger effect, but I think I'll be refraining from doing any ink work on the Bretts as a whole. There just really aren't that many details that would benefit from lining. Get some nice rust up in these divots. Okay. I almost knocked that Argrex over, and there was some clenching in certain parts of my body as I moved my hand. Thankfully, nothing bad happened. And for the last bit, a little bit of Reichland on the golds. Oh, Reichland flesh shade did it. Could be good and done. Never have I ever, yeah. I used to not need to keep the bottle open when, especially when doing shading, using washes. But for whatever reason, even on the wet palette, they just started gooping up real quick. And I just can't maintain the consistency that I need. So I had to start doing this. It may be that they're just old. I've been using them for about 3 years now, the same pots. May just be that they're starting to dry. Okay, so it's probably not that. Then I don't know. It just started doing it. Being very hard to work with. Because I used to be able to just put them on the palette and work with them for about half an hour before they started going to shit. It just changed. I think that'll be that. Look up the excess here. And I'll leave that. Alright, Hubert, thanks for coming along as usual, and have a lovely rest of your evening, and a good night's sleep. Good night, my man. And I think we're done. Nothing special, but it does what it's supposed to do. And I think it will be easy enough to replicate across the other models. I'll be able to turn my brain off and just go along. Yeah, there will be a few places I'll bring the texturing up. It's just too bland. Damn it. Yeah. Thanks, dude. Like the belt needs to be textured a little bit more and there. But yeah, overall, doable. Alright. So I'll be off as well. Let's see if anyone's on to do a quick raid. We do seem to have a couple of people. Herp. Nerd is on. Let's raid Nerd. Let's raid another local painter. Cheers, dude, and thank you for coming along. Bro, for as usual, everyone. Thanks for joining. Keep doing what you love and loving what you do. I've been Bachakolio, and I will hope to see you